Those slippery Saudis have double-crossed us once again. We sell them billions of dollars in advanced weapons, which we shouldn't be doing. And what do? Side with Russia and cut oil production. But are U.S. lawmakers finally wising up to this dangerous charade? Just last week, OPEC announced they would be cutting oil production by 2 million barrels a day. I used that on my legs. That will likely have one profound effect, slowing the U.S. economy down when we can least afford it. Yesterday, on CNN, Connecticut Democrat Senator Chris Murphy said the Saudis are not our friends, you guys. Watch.
Listen, we sell massive amounts of arms to the Saudis. I think we need to rethink those sales. I think we need to lift the exemption that we have given this OPEC Plus cartel from U.S. price fixing liability. I think we need to look at our troop presence in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. They chose to back up the Russians, drive up oil prices, which could have the potential to fracture our Ukraine coalition. And there's got to be consequences.
I don't disagree with that. Problem is, cutting off Saudi Arabia presents its own problems. Where are we going to get oil in the short term? Can't just snap your fingers and get cheap gas. Joining me now to break down energy expert and Power the Future executive director, Daniel Turner. Hi, Daniel. Welcome back. Yay.
Thank you, Kennedy. Great to be with you.
So I don't like Saudi Arabia. I don't like that we're selling them weapons that they're using to kill innocent civilians. I don't trust them. We used to produce more oil than they do. What happened?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I agree with you and I agree with the senator. But this is a half measure, right? I think it's a really weak response by Senator Murphy. And quite frankly, I think it's very typical of Democrats when they come to the energy issue, this capitulation, this weakness. You know, it reminds me of not long ago in the Obama administration when we cowered before North Korea and we cowered before Iran. And at one point, we didn't look around and say, aren't we America, right? Aren't we the biggest, strongest, baddest, most fierce, largest economy nation in the world? Why are we letting little petty tyrant dictators determine our future? And OPEC is a petty tyrant dictator. So rather than say to Saudis, oh, there's going to be consequences, how about we outproduce you, right? How about we make you irrelevant the way you were just a few years ago? But to do that, for Chris Murphy to admit that, they have to admit American fossil fuels are good. American oil and gas is good. And this administration and the Democrats are trying to convince us that fossil fuels, American fossil fuels, are the enemy. And look at the state of the economy, and now look at the state of the world.
Yes, and they are relying wholly on, again, the religion of climate progressivism. And it is going to bankrupt this country. It is going to stifle innovation. We are going to be much more vulnerable to a global recession because of that. But, I agree with them about Saudi Arabia, but they only say this every once in a while. They only say this when something happens. There's an incredibly inconsistent foreign policy when it comes to the Saudis. And you're absolutely right. If we want to solve the problem, we have to drill, refine, and produce. And when we have leftovers, let's go ahead and export that to places like Germany so they're not reliant on Russia and propping up their economy. Russia's laughing at our sanctions. So what is the next step here?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Russia's laughing at us. The world is laughing at us. And for almost 2 years now, the Biden administration, we've been talking. I've been coming on your show with a lot of gratitude, of course, to talk about these issues, right? Starting with Keystone, starting with killing oil and gas leases in the Gulf and the Pacific, in Alaska, on native lands, et cetera. And all the time, the left and the Biden administration is telling us it's no big deal. There's no consequence. There's no consequence. Well, there are serious consequences, right? Consequences to our economy and our national security. But all of this is reversible. We have so much fossil fuels in this country, and we produce it cleanly, and we produce it efficiently, and we employ millions of people in the process, and we lower the costs of goods, and we make countries like the Saudis and Russia economically weak and vulnerable, right? But again, that requires the political will to admit that the American fossil fuel industry is good. And it's not just good, it is great. It gives us freedom, it gives us life, it powers our economy, it makes life good. It's why everyone tries to come legally and illegally into the United States of America. But admitting that the American fossil fuels industry is bad, is good, is admitting that the green agenda is a joke.
Yeah,
and
no,
they can't do
they
that.
have backed themselves into a corner on that issue. You're absolutely right. And it is a form of cannibalism because they have given in completely to that orthodoxy that, you know, we must worship at the altar of climate change and environmentalism. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but at least let's be honest about the ramp we need to get from where we are to having clean, renewable energy for everything, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. It may not happen in 10 or 20 years. So in that time, let's concentrate what we have, knowing that in the future, it will be powered by different things, but you're not going to get there by smothering innovation and innovators so they don't come up with new technologies, new systems for powering exactly what we need, which is the engine of capitalism.
It is. And that's the honest conversation we need to have about wind, solar, electric vehicles. They're not bad. I don't oppose them. I'm not trying to stop them. But there are trade-offs, and we need to have that honest conversation. And you look at the state of places like California. You look at brownouts and blackouts. You look at the prices Americans are going to pay this winter to heat their homes. These are the trade-offs. And if the Biden administration and the environmental left was honest, they would tell us, look, this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah,
right? But they're not telling us that. They're trying to convince us.
You think energy is expensive now, wait till it's renewable. Daniel Turner, thanks so much. Always good to talk to you.
Thanks,
Peace out,
Kennedy.
Cub Scout.